on divorce court today. After just a month, they knew it was right. But now, 3.5 years later, they think it was wrong. Sharon believes Wade has a problem with alcohol, while Wade claims it's her turn to bring in the money. Sharon Norris and Wade Ryden have brought their dispute for Judge Lynn Toler to resolve. Testimony in divorce court starts now.
Ms. Norris, you say your 3.5-year relationship with Mr. Ryden is ending because he drinks too much. Tell me about that.
Well, in the recent months, he's been drinking daily, getting drunk daily, instead of just coming home and having a couple of beers after work. And I recently came home at lunchtime, and at noon he was already intoxicated with his friend at the house. And it's every day, and I can't get him to do anything.
Had he been drinking when you first met him, or when you first moved in together? Or did it change over time?
It did change. When we first met, it was after work, maybe 1 or 2 beers, just unwinding after work. Now it's every day, just with the intention of getting drunk.
Okay. What kind of drunk is he? Is he happy drunk, mean drunk, sleepy drunk, sexy drunk?
Well,
not
usually,
sexy, but
usually
he's want sex kind of drunk.
Right. Usually he's pretty happy for the most part, unless, I say something to him about it, and then he can be disrespectful and kind of rude occasionally.
Mr. Ryden, do you have a little problem with alcohol?
No, I don't believe I have a problem with alcohol at all. I think she's just taking it a little too far. I don't get drunk every single day. She's just making it out.
You drink every day. You unwind a glass of beer after work?
Yeah, of course. I have some cocktails.
So, some cocktails.
Yeah.
Now, when you say some cocktails, what kind, and give me kind and quantity?
Well, it depends on the situation that's at hand. Some days I feel like beer, some days I feel like hard alcohol. And, it just depends on the day also,
If it's a beer day, how many beers do you typically have?
1, 2, 6, 5, I don't know. It's just, how many ever until it quit tasting good? And then I stopped drinking them.
Okay. Do you ever stop drinking just because you feel that you're becoming intoxicated or, gone past buzz?
Well, that's the whole point of drinking, is to get drunk.
So you drink to get drunk?
Yeah, why not?
Well, she's got 2 kids at home, 11 and 15. That's a good reason not to. Don't you think?
Yeah, but they're not drinking.
But they're seeing you drink.
Well.
Do you trust your judgment when you're drunk?
No, I don't.
So you're in the house with 2 kids, and you're in a condition where you don't trust your judgment. Does that sound copacetic to you?
See, my judgment might be cloudy at that time, but, it's not that I'm not completely out of it and not know what I'm doing. I still know what I'm doing. I just have bad judgment because I'm intoxicated.
Okay, because you're doing the wrong, okay.
If someone says jump off a bridge, it's probably going to sound like a good idea to jump off that bridge when I'm intoxicated. But when I'm sober, it's probably not going to be such a great idea.
Such a good idea. I get that. Why do you think Ms. Norris is leaving? You seem to say that you're an affable drunk, you drink, you get drunk, but you don't really cause any problems. Why do you think she's leaving?
Maybe because I pay more attention to other things when I'm drinking than her.
Like what?
Say, I'll get online and start looking at social media sites or start watching other video websites and stuff like that. No, it's not that. It's like I go on and, I amuse myself.
I just can't imagine you being drunk going on Wikipedia. So I'm looking to figure out where that river of alcohol is taking you.
Well, I like to watch, funny videos and people getting messed up and stuff like that.
Like fail blog and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, those
people
are funny.
Down.
Yeah, and I'm drunk and
is
I want to laugh.
That an accurate representation of the way he spends his evening once he's become inebriated?
If he's at home.
Which he often is not, I'm taking by your answer?
Yeah, often he's gone. And sometimes he'll come home at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and that's usually when he gets rude or disrespectful.
Is that accurate? Do you get rude and disrespectful when you come home late at night after a night out in the town with the fellas?
Maybe in her eyes it's rude and disrespectful, but in mine, I don't see any problem with some of the stuff I say.
Can you tell me some things that he said that you found rude and disrespectful?
Well, recently I asked him why he was coming home at 4 o'clock because the bars close at 2, and he basically told me if I didn't like it, I was welcome to leave.
What? I never said anything like that.
Mr. Ryden, hang on. Was he drunk?
Oh, yeah.
Why would you ask a drunk man an intelligent question? I never understood that.
Good point.
It's never an opportune time. You don't get a good answer. You're most likely to get anger. You wait till the next day when you can have a conversation. Don't talk to drunk people. Put them to bed. You say, Mr. Ryden, we've been talking about you for a while, so I'm going to get off of you for a moment. Why don't you tell me what your main complaint about Ms. Norris is?
Okay, like when we first got together, she wasn't working, she was going to school, and I was taking care of everything, and I was being the provider, and I never complained, And then all of a sudden, I lost my job. Now she has a job that pays well. So in my eyes, I just feel that, maybe it's time for a little bit of compensation. And, maybe I could stay home for a little while and take care of the house and stuff like that while she works, And, I work in a oil and gas industry, and I have certain skills there. So sometimes it takes a little longer to get the job that I'm looking for instead of just, starting back at the bottom, when I'm trying to get back up into a management position. It takes a little while.
How long have you been unemployed?
For about 4 months now.
4 months?
Yeah,
okay.
something around there.
I also understand you don't like the fact that she tries to dictate your social life, that she doesn't like your friends, and that she's jealous.
Yeah, there is a lot of that. And it does get old, and I do. That's why I just stay away most of the time, And like you were saying earlier, my judgment's cloudy, so instead of being at the house and causing problems, I go out and...
So you abandon her as a public service?
To her, yeah, it's kind of a public service. I wouldn't say public service, I say personal
service.
Yes,
personal
yes,
service.
Yes.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. It's more accurate than what I said.
Next, does Wade spend more time having fun out on the town with his friend than he does with Sharon? Have you been living together for years but find that splitting up is as complicated as divorce? Call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com. Become a fan at facebook.com/divorcecourt. Divorce Court. Real relationships, raw emotion. Testimony continues now.
Ms. Norris, I understand Mr. Ryden has a friend that he sees so often, you call him his wife.
Yeah.
Why don't you explain...
Well, this friend sees him more than I do, and we live together. And so, they're constantly out together. They're always at the strip clubs or at the bars together. When he doesn't come home,
more often, I go
Mr. Ryden.
When he doesn't come home, it's this is who he was with all the time. And sometimes I just feel like if he wants to spend all his time with his friend, maybe that's who he should be with.
Mr. Ryden, you had a response to that. That would be?
Yeah, I have a close friend. We like to hang out. And a lot of the times she doesn't want to go out and do the stuff that we're doing because she comes back from work and she says that she's tired and she doesn't want to go out and do stuff. And my buddy always wants to go out and do stuff. And plus, he's kind of rich and he takes me out and we go have a good time and I don't have to spend any money. So I'm all for it.
You said earlier in the proceedings that, in the beginning you used to take care of her. And now, financially, and then she was home and she would take care of the home part. Now that those roles are reversed, it seems that she's taking care of you financially, but you are not providing any sort of support and care in the home.
I'm still taking care of the house and cleaning up the house and, cooking meals and stuff like that. It's not that I'm just not doing anything at all.
Marriage is not just a bunch of chores. It's not just a job and then I cook and clean, you bring money, I cook and clean, you bring money. You have to actually... Or a committed relationship, you have to actually engage in things as a couple in order for that relationship to grow. Have you done anything in that regard?
A little bit.
Right.
I try to do stuff, but then it always just gets shot down that she doesn't want to do it.
Are you sober when you do them?
Most of the time, I try.
Put yourself in her shoes for a minute. You're working, got a couple of kids, you come home, and the person you're supporting is like, okay, I'm going to go out drinking with the money that you give me because you don't have any money, or I guess it's your friend's money, but wouldn't you feel a little abandoned or misused if you were just providing shelter for a junior alcoholic?
I don't know, because I'm not in that situation.
But you can think, though. You're not a dumb guy. You've got an education.
If she doesn't want to go, then I don't see any reason why I shouldn't.
Do you see any reason why you should do things that she wants to do that don't involve alcohol or your wife?
Yes.
But do you do them?
No, I don't.
And why not?
Because I feel that drinking and going out and having a good time sounds like a better idea.
You're better off, right? You know this is a good thing.
Right.
You know that departure is a celebration here. It's a glory moment. You don't have any children with him?
No.
You got a job.
I do,
You got,
2 of them.
And you got 2 jobs, and you're beautiful, and you are shedding 220 pounds of dead weight.
Right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
When Divorce Court continues, is Wade unable to prove that Sharon is messing around because she's innocent or because she's good at covering her tracks?
Do you agree with Wade that it is Sharon's turn to bring home a salary? Call 1-800-282-1991 to vote now and see if America agrees with your opinion. You'll also receive some valuable offers. Call now.
If you would like your case heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com and join the conversation on Twitter at Divorce Court. Divorce Court continues.
You say that Mr. Ryden is a jealous man. Can you tell me why you say that?
I got a phone call from my boss, and this is just recent, and he heard a male's voice on the line, and he started yelling in the background, demanding to know who it was. And, you know, I tried moving to the other room so I could actually have a work conversation with my boss, and it just got so out of hand that when I hung up with my boss, he took my phone and called the number back just to verify who it was.
It wasn't back your boss.
Yeah. And he wants to look at my phone all the time, and I always say, yeah, we'll trade, and, you know, you look at mine, I'll look at yours, and that's not going to happen.
That ends that conversation.
Yeah.
Mr. Ryden? Mr. Ryden, why don't you tell me your version of the telephone exchange and the conversations that she has on her phone? Are you jealous?
Sometimes, but not all the time. It's just, she's always accusing me of going out and doing stuff and cheating on her or, you know, being with other women and stuff like that. So I figured I'd just reverse the role and, you know, I just do the same thing. And, you know, I tell her I want to look at her phone and see who she's talking to. And she's always like, oh, it's my boss or it's my brother. And it's like, really, you can't be talking to your boss and your brother that much. There's not that much to talk about.
Have you found that she has been having conversations with people, with men that were inappropriate?
No, I haven't. So.
Right, and I'm not the one coming home.
Mr. Ryden, I tell you, you got a lot of negative qualities, but dishonesty isn't one of them, and I appreciate that. You're very, very honest. You're right out there with it. I got a son at home. Yep, Mom, I did it. You know, it's just like...
But, you know, she's a pretty intelligent person, so, you know, she could be erasing all this stuff before I look at it because she knows that I'm going to ask to look at it.
She's got 2 jobs and she's got kids at home. You don't really believe she's running around on you, do you?
Well, when you're sitting at work, you got your phone in your hand, you know, who knows what you could be doing.
But you don't believe that. I just called you honest, and now you're acting a fool.
But there's still a chance. There's still a chance.
There's always a chance, but there's nothing indicative of a cheat.
Because I've always felt that if someone's starting to call you a cheater out of nowhere, then there's probably something going on behind the scenes.
Oh, well, that's just silly.
The only reason that I even say that is because he's been seen kissing other girls at the bar. He comes home smelling like other women, covered with glitter.
Does any of that happen?
I've never kissed another girl at the bar, but I have hung out with them.
Right.
And, you know,
Are you
like window
sure
shopping.
that when you're drunk, you haven't gone past the limitations you have set for yourself?
Oh, no, I don't cheat. So
you don't cheat? That's just not your thing.
I've had it happen to me in the past, and, you know, I think it sucks, so I don't do it.
So, okay.
But, you know, if I'm hanging out with some female companions and they're hanging out and we're flirting and stuff like that, having fun, I don't see any problem with that. You know, I'm not taking it home. I'm coming home to her every night. So I don't see any reason why I can't flirt around and have fun and mess around. You know, just having a good time.
You don't see any problem with it at all?
I'm not doing anything, you know. It's just like, it's like trying on a pair of sneakers, but not buying them.
One of my best friends called me and reported that she was at the bar that he was at, and there was a girl hanging all over him, kissing him.
Your best
and
friend's
if my kids weren't at home, I would have been down there and I would have busted him.
I'm glad your kids were home because you really didn't need to go down there. No good ever comes of that kind of confrontation.
Right.
You know, it's not. Some women will put their kids in the car and take them with them down to the bar.
Right.
Jump out and wail on somebody. So a little restraint is a good thing, you know, because you don't, when you roll, you want to roll clean. You don't want to have an assault charge on you. You know, it's not helpful.
Judge Lynn Toler's ruling next. Divorce Court. Judge Lynn Toler's ruling right now.
Mr. Ryden, do you care at all that she's leaving?
You know, I did when she first started threatening me with it. But then, you know, I just came to the point where, you know, if she wants me gone and she's tired of me, then, you know, I might as well just go then, you know, and just be gone. I don't want to go because, you know, I feel that after 3.5 years that we still have a good relationship. You know, maybe my drinking is excessive sometimes, but, you know, that can be resolved and taken care of. But, you know, she's just fed up with me, you know, and I'm still going to go out and have fun. I'm not going to become
I hear you say that can be resolved, but you've come in here with an attitude of resignation to the situation. In other words, you're saying, well, I like to party, I like to drink, that's what it is, not I'd like her to stay and I'll be better.
I'm not going to lock myself in the house and just be like, oh, Sharon, I'm here for you and I'm going to be your slave. Here, let me take your shoes off and massage your feet. There
is an entire continent between what she's asking for and that nonsense you're talking over there. So let's, you know, and we cannot, I cannot, in the little time that remains, help you traverse that territory. So I'm gonna stop talking to you. Ms. Norris, you want $320.52. Why do you want that specific amount?
To pay off the balances that we have on bills right now. I think he should pay at least half of what's owed.
And your response to that would be, Mr. Ryden?
If she wants me to leave, why can't she just take care of it and just let me go on my way?
Okay, I got you. Well, first of all, I'll say, Ms. Norris, if I find out that you have gone back to this man, I'm going to come over your house personally and call you some names.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
You hear me?
Absolutely.
Don't get weak. Don't get sad. Don't start to miss him. Don't do any of the above foolishness because you have got it together. You need to move on.
And I'm already over the missing him part.
You over all of that? You done? You sure?
Absolutely.
Mr. Ryden, if you're ever so lucky to get another woman or some woman is so unlucky to get you, let me suggest this, that you be a little less glib and a little more of a man. And
I'm all man.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Oh
yes,
no.
yes, I
Let
am.
me tell you something. What a man is a person who can conduct a relationship in which he doesn't get his way all of the time. He has the ability to see others' needs and meet them without falling apart. And a real man knows that that's what makes him his man, is to be able to care for, love, and provide happiness and security to somebody other than himself. For having said that, I will say this: $320.52 is more than a reasonable response. So I will award you that. $320.52 in favor of Ms. Norris. It is so awarded.
Sharon and Wade agree with the judge's ruling and have moved on. Post a comment or submit your case at divorcecourt.com or call toll-free 1-877-311-2222. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Divorce Court.